Chapter 1, The Lie of Weakness, where it starts. Have you ever felt weak? Like you are not strong enough to face life? Like the world is too big and you are too small? You are not alone. Many people feel this way. But this feeling, this idea that you are weak is a lie. It is a story told to you by fear, by pain, and by the world around you. From the moment you were born, someone may have told you that you are not good enough. Maybe it was a voice inside your head, or maybe it was someone else. You heard it again and again. You can't do this. You are too small. You will fail. Slowly, you start to believe these words. You start to believe you are weak. But what if I told you this belief is wrong? What if I told you that you were born strong, stronger than you think? What if weakness is not who you are, but just a mask you have worn too long? Think about a seed. A small seed is buried in dark soil. It looks weak, small, and invisible. But inside that seed is power, the power to grow into a mighty tree. You are like that seed. You have power inside you waiting to grow. The question is, will you let it grow? Today, we start the journey to wake that power inside, to break the chains of weakness. You were not born to be weak. You were born to be strong. Strong in mind, body, and spirit. And this strength is not about muscles or fighting. It is about control. Control over your thoughts, your actions, your emotions. This is a first step. To see the lie of weakness and choose a new story. The story of strength, courage, and power. How's that tone and style for? Chapter 2, How Society Trains You to Doubt Yourself. From the time you were young, the world began shaping you, not to be strong, but to be quiet, to follow, to doubt yourself. They gave you rules. They gave you grades. They gave you labels. Too loud, too slow, not smart enough, not like the others. They told you what to do, what to wear, how to speak, and what to dream. And if you didn't fit their box, they said something was wrong with you. But the truth is, society doesn't build strength. It builds comfort. And comfort often kills strength, because strength is born through resistance. But the world teaches you to avoid pain, avoid discomfort, avoid failure. You're told to chase likes, followers, status, but never told to build character. You're told to be nice, but not to be brave. You are taught how to look strong, but not how to be strong. So many people grow up chasing fake strength, big voice, tough face, money, muscles, but inside they are empty, afraid, because no one taught them real power comes from within. The Stoics said it best. It is not the man who has little, but the man who needs more that is poor. Seneca, you were trained to doubt your strength, but today you begin to retrain your mind. You begin to take it back. You stop asking, what do they think of me? And start asking, what do I think of myself? Because the world wants to control you with fear. But Stoicism teaches you to be free by mastering your mind. Let today be the day you stop letting society shape you and start shaping yourself. Let me know when you're ready for Chapter 3, The Stoic Truth About Strength. What is real strength? Most people think it's about power, power over others, power in your voice, power in your fists. But the Stoics taught something very different. They said real strength is not about what you control on the outside. It's about what you control on the inside. You see, storms come for everyone. Death, loss, failure, rejection. No one escapes life's pain. But what makes a person strong is not avoiding pain. It's how they respond to it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, faced war, betrayal, and death every day. Yet he wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You don't get to choose what happens to you, but you get to choose what it means. That choice is strength." The Stoics believe you could train your mind like a warrior trains his body. Each challenge is a weight. Each failure, a push-up. Each painful day, a test of your discipline. Do you scream, or do you stay still? Do you break down, or do you breathe and move forward? Strength is being calm when you want to explode. Strength is showing up when you feel like quitting. Strength is doing the right thing, even when no one claps. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's silent. It's deep. It's powerful. And the best part? You already have it. Right now inside you is that strength. It doesn't need to be added. It needs to be awakened. The Stoic truth is this. You were not born to be weak. You were born with the power to control your thoughts, to choose your path, and to walk through any fire with peace. The world may shake, but the strong person does not. Ready for Chapter 4. Facing your fear, the first step to power. Fear is the first wall between you and your strength. It whispers you can't. It tells you you're not ready. It lies to you. But here's the truth. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your teacher. Most people run from fear. They hide behind comfort. They stay small because it feels safe. But Stoics did not run. They faced fear. They used it. They stepped into it. Seneca, one of the great Stoics, wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than reality." Think about that. Most of your fear is just a thought, a guess, a what if, not a fact. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of how failure will feel. But here's the secret. Every time you look fear in the eye and move anyway, you grow stronger, just like lifting a heavy stone. It hurts at first, but your muscles grow. Your mind grows too when you lift your fears. Fear says, "What if I'm not good enough?" You say, "Let me try anyway." Fear says, "What if they laugh?" You say, "I'll speak anyway." Fear says, "What if I fall?" You say, "I'll rise again." This is how the Stoic becomes powerful, not by erasing fear, but by acting with fear standing right beside them. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving while afraid. That's where real strength lives. So today, don't run from fear. Face it. Walk toward it. Smile at it. Because fear is the first door you must walk through to meet your true self. You were not born to be weak. You were born to face fear. And keep walking. Shall we continue with Chapter 5, Discipline, the bridge from weakness to strength. If strength is the destination, then discipline is the bridge. It's not about doing big things once. It's about doing small things every single day. You want power? You want peace? You want purpose? Then build discipline. Because without it, you fall. You break. You wander. You say, "I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow becomes never. Discipline is a fire that burns weakness out of your soul. It is waking up when it's hard. It is choosing growth when comfort is calling. It is doing the work, even when no one is watching. Epictetus, a Stoic who was once a slave, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And mastery begins with discipline. Discipline means you don't follow your mood. You follow your mission. Your feelings are like the weather. Sometimes cloudy, sometimes stormy, sometimes clear. But discipline is a road that stays firm in every season. The weak person says, "I don't feel like it." The strong person says, "It doesn't matter how I feel. I will do what I must." Discipline is not natural. It's trained. It's built like a muscle. Each time you wake up on time, each time you train your body, each time you say no to comfort, you add one brick to your bridge. And soon, that bridge leads you out of weakness and into freedom. So ask yourself, what small action can you do today? Not tomorrow, today. Because your power is not in what you dream. It's in what you do again and again and again. You were not born to be weak. You were born to be disciplined. And discipline builds destiny. Chapter 6. Courage in action, small steps every day. Courage isn't loud. It's not always bold. Sometimes courage is just getting up. It's brushing your teeth when you're tired. It's going for that walk when your mind says, "Stay in bed." It's telling the truth when it would be easier to stay silent. Courage is not in the big, heroic moments. It's in the small steps, the daily steps. Because weakness doesn't grow all at once. It grows slowly. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," every time you hide from a hard thing, every time you give your power away to fear, But the same way weakness grows in silence, strength grows the same way, in silence, in small actions. Every day you act with courage, you rewrite your story. You become the hero, not the victim. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That means the obstacle, the thing you're afraid of, is your path, not something to run from, but something to walk through. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to be perfect, but you must move. The weak stay stuck in their minds. They overthink. They wait. They hope. But the strong, they act, even with fear, even with doubt, even with pain. So today, take one step. Just one. Read one page. Say one honest thing. Get up 1 minute earlier. Do one push-up. Speak one kind word. Because small steps lead to big changes. And that's how you grow unshakable. You were not born to be weak. You were born to rise. One step, one day, one breath at a time. Chapter 7. Inner peace is strength. Most people think peace is soft. They think calm means you're weak. They think silence means you're afraid. But the Stoics knew the truth. Peace is power. Anyone can shout. Anyone can panic. Anyone can react. But it takes real strength to stay calm in chaos. To stay still when everything around you is loud. To keep your center, even when the world is falling apart. That's not weakness. That's mastery. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plagues, wars, and betrayals. But he wrote in his private journal, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands, unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." That's who you must become. Not the wave. The rock. The weak chase noise. They chase drama. They need attention to feel strong. But peace comes from within. It comes when you stop needing to prove yourself. When you stop fighting every battle. When you learn to let go of what doesn't matter. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to be right all the time. You don't need everyone to like you. That's peace. And it's built when you stop giving your power away to things you can't control. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's strength. So, today, breathe. Let go of the noise. Let go of the need to react. Let go of the fear that makes you chase things that do not matter. Find your peace. Protect your peace. Lie from that peace. Because you were not born to be weak. You were born to stand strong, calm, and grounded, like the rock in the storm. Here is Chapter 8 of your 3-hour Stoic YouTube script for You Were Not Born to Be Weak. Chapter 8. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. Pain hurts. That's true. But what if pain wasn't here to break you? What if it was here to build you? Most people run from pain. They hide from it. They numb it with food, noise, screens, and distractions. But the Stoics did the opposite. They sat with it. They listened to it. They learned from it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your trainer. It's a fire that burns away weakness, the hammer that shapes your spirit. When you avoid pain, you stay soft. You stay lost. You stay weak. But when you face it, something changes. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn?" Pain teaches you who you really are. It shows you what matters. It reveals your hidden strength. A broken heart teaches compassion. A failure teaches humility. A loss teaches gratitude. A hard season teaches endurance. Every scar has a story. Every wound has wisdom. And if you let pain guide you, not destroy you, you become unshakable. Pain reminds you, you are alive. You are growing. You are being forged into something greater. The Stoics didn't pray for easy lives. They trained for hard ones. Because through pain, they found power. So next time you feel pain, stop. Don't run. Don't hide. Ask it, "What are you here to teach me?" Because you were not born to be weak. You were born to be forged by fire and rise from it even stronger. Chapter 9. You are not your past. Too many people live inside a prison, not a prison with walls, but a prison made of memories, old mistakes, old pain, old labels. They carry it every day like chains. But the Stoics knew this truth. You are not your past. What happened before is not who you are now. What others did to you does not define you. Even your worst moments, they do not own your future. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your past is only a teacher, not a sentence. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you failed. Yes, you've made mistakes. But those things built you. They shaped your story. But they are not your story's end. The weak cling to the past. They use it as an excuse. I can't change. This is who I've always been. I'll always be broken. But the strong, they take what happened and build something new. You don't have to keep reliving what broke you. You don't have to stay the same just because you've been that way for years. Right now, in this moment, you can choose a different path. Forgive yourself. Release the guilt. Release the shame. You've carried it long enough. You are not here to stay stuck. You are here to rise. Like a tree that's been cut but grows back stronger, you can grow again. You can change the story. You were not born to be weak. You were born to overcome, even your own past. Chapter 10. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. There is a secret to living strong. A simple truth the Stoics live by. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. That's it. That's the path to peace. The path to power. But most people do the opposite. They try to control everything. Other people, the past, the future, the weather, the world. And guess what? They suffer. They get angry. They feel powerless. Because they're wasting their strength on things they can never control. Epictetus taught, some things are up to us, and some things are not. You can't control what others think, but you can control what you believe. You can't control if life is fair, but you can control if you are. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond. This is real power, not trying to control the storm, but learning to sail your ship through it. The weak react to everything. They let life toss them around like leaves in the wind. But the strong, they focus only on what they can touch. Their thoughts, their actions, their attitude. That's where strength lives. You were not born to waste your life in worry. You were born to live with focus and peace. So ask yourself today, is this thing in my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. You don't have to carry everything. Just carry what's yours. Because you were not born to be weak. You were born to live with clarity, calm, and courage.